Okay, moving on. We will now discuss workflow analysis. Now, when we say workflow, we said earlier that workflow is the way work is organized, diba? To meet the organization's production or service goals. Now, when we say, how does an organization examine a workflow? So this is how they do it. Charot. This is how they do it actually. Number one, method. Third eye. Work creates or adds value to the ongoing process in a business. When you say process, now are value adding, value creating activities such as product development, customer service, and order fulfillment. Okay. Second, some steps of job can be eliminated, combined, or simplified. Workflow analysis looks at how work moves from one customer who initiates the need for work through through the organization where employees add value to the work in a series of value creating steps to the point at which the work leaves the organization as a product or service for customers. Now, so when, di ba, ingana man ano, no? When we say workflow analysis, tanaw, di ba tanaw ni mo, what does the customer need? What does the customer wants? No, so work moves from the customer because they are the one who initiates the need for work. May kakaron mo yun ang customer, I need a milk. So the customer initiates the need for work. Mo yun ang organizations karon, nagkinahanglan og milk ang customer. Unsay akong buhaton? What do I need? What type of work? What work is needed in order to provide this customer with a glass of milk. So technically, it was the customer, no, who dictates what kind of work this particular organization should have with respect to the need of the consumers. 'Di ba? Nasabtan? So, with workflow analysis, some steps or job can be eliminated or combined or simplified. So, if a particular job is no longer necessary to provide satisfaction for the consumers, then why are you still having it? You're just expanding the operating costs. So, di na kinahanglan ang in making a milk, ug di na kinahanglan ang kanang unsa na pasteurization or whatever it is, eliminate na siya. Kaya it's just a dagdag gasto, di ba? When we provide goods or services to consumers, of course, it involves the raw materials and the operating materials, the overhead costs. So, kanang mga overhead costs na di na kinahanglan nga bisag wa siya wa na ang overhead costs maka-provide gihapon mong satisfaction sa consumers, eliminate them, di ba? Okay, samtan, and that is how workflow analysis is used by organizations. Now, work moves from the customer through the organization and then as a product or service. Of course, from customers in the organization now, tun kay gitrabaho na, inigawas ana sa organization, may man isang product. It's just an input, process, and of course the output. The input is what the customers need or the demands. Oh, I want a set of milk. The process is of course all the raw materials, operating head, kanang operating materials, operating kanang kuan sa panadihang kinahanglanan in order to produce one bottle of milk. No? So work moves from the customer through the organization and then as a product or service. It's just merely an input, process, and output. Okay? Number 4, alignment between employees' work and customer needs is arranged. No? So, when we say workflow analysis, it can be used to tighten the alignment between employees' work and customers' needs. It can also help a company make major performance improvements through a program called business process reengineering. Okay? So what is business process reengineering? So, mo na siya. Mo na giyaw-yaw ganina. So, look at this first kani. Diba? This is a workflow of now unsa ni sa loan di na si ko kaklaro oy. Workflow of a processing a loan. So this is an example of a workflow for processing a loan application. So the term reengineering was coined by Michael Hammer and James Champy in their pioneering book, Reengineering the Corporation. Business Process Reengineering, or BPR, is not a quick fix, no, not a quick fix, but rather a fundamental rethinking and radical design of business processes to achieve dramatic improvements in cost, quality, service, and speed. Reengineering examines the way company conducts its business by closely analyzing the core processes involved in producing its products or delivering its service to the customer. So using BPR, no, you have now a tool that you can use to analyze the work process, the workflow, no? So, unsa ba ni siya kanang ang workflow ba nimo is fitted in order to achieve the goals in and improve cost, quality, service, and speed. Now remember that you can always achieve your goal. Why problema? Bisag si kinsa pwede ma-achieve og goal, di ba? Mag-set og goal, ma-achieve na nimo. But the question is how? How do you achieve your goals? Mo ni diri mo sud ang business process reengineering. Kay base ng achievement sa imong goal, imbis kay pwede ra sa ma-achieve in 5 months, na-achieve nimo within 12 years. Tungod kay wa nimo na-assess ang workflow. Wa nimo ma-assess ang work process. Nga na wa ka na kaybaw nga naa man ay shortcut. Pwede man di na ni siya. Na mo function man di makaabot man di gihapon ko sa akong goal without this particular mananap. So, mo na siya the difference between mo kag unsa may musigkuan ma'am nga we can always achieve goals. Kana kay giset ang goal, ma-achieve gud yun nimo. Yes, that is true. But the question is how? How do you achieve your goal? Is it efficient? Is it effective? Is it in a manner that has an improved cost, quality, service, and speed? Kay pwede man kag ma-achieve nimo ang goal. My goal is to produce 20 pieces of shoes in one day. Pwede. Nakaproduce jag 20 ka sapatos pero pag tan-aw puro right. Ano na? Kanang puro right ba? Why left? Oh, so diba? Dili siya not even effective, not even efficient. Nagasto-gasto ra sa raw materials. But he was able to achieve the goals, which is to produce 20 pairs of shoes in a day. So that is my point. No, you do not just set a goal and then target to achieve it. You need to also look at how. No, remember that you have a lot of factors that you need to consider. Of course, finances is very important. No, okay. So this is how workflow using specialists. So, mo ni siya. Gikan sa customer service receptionist, maadto na po siya sa credit checker. So, pa ni? No? Anja, ikaw man sa the credit checker would do the credit check on the customers, and then ipasa na po dito sa business practices specialist, which will modify standard loan covenant based on customer request, and then maadto na po sa pricer ikaw man to compute the interest rate on the loan, and then maadto na po sa administrator ikaw man to convert information into a code letter, and then usa pa nga to sa customer. So kung ang customer ning loan tungod kay operahan na siyang pasyente, namatay nagpasyente, wa pa na-approve ang loan because of a long processes. So what will happen? Of course, the consumer will no longer return to your establishment. Manabi pa na dito na. Adyo naman sig loan ha. Uy, way hinungdan. Ba? But with business process re-engineering, meaning to say, you look at the workflow and then you found out nga gikan sa you don't need to di na kinahanglan mo agi pag credit checker, business practices na napailaing tao nga mo credit check, mo business practice specialist, pricer, ato pa sa administration, pwede man di ay. Mo function man di ay. You can achieve your goal with a deal structurer. No? With the use of sophisticated computer programs to process the entire loan application, no? You can have it in just a day instead of pila ka weeks or days usa pa ma-release ang loan. So mo na gamit sa business process re-engineering, no? The work or the kani workflow analysis. You need to examine your workflow. Is it really that is why there's a need to evaluate your strategies. Is it really working according to your goal? No? So, kay pwede mong gud siya nga padung sa goal, pero galiko-liko. Murag, tinai sa manok. When you can have it, that straight and smooth path. Mao na siya nga, there is a need to analyze the workflow of an organization. Kuha? I hope so. So workflow analysis can be used to tighten the alignment, as I have said before. No? It can tighten the alignment between employees' work and customers' need. No? Murag direct siya a direct answer. Okay? So mo ni siya ang business process engineering. Now remember that this is not a quick fix ha. It needs a lot of kanang brainstorming, decision making, no? So, makita nimo diri dinhi sa kanang figure no nga from pila ka steps from 1 to sa muka pud ni oy. From 1 2 3 4 5 into just one step and then customer na diretso. No? Now, we can see that the jobs of the 5 loan specialists, imagine how much ang imong matipid for salaries, sa French benefits, for this specialist, kung naray usa ka tawo sa imong taga-ag technology, no? Nga maka-aid ni dya to if faster transaction. No? Nakita ni John diferensya or ako rin nakakita? Ito. Okay, diba? It's so obvious. Now, using BPR, the jobs of the 5 loan specialists were reorganized into the job of just one generalist called the deal structurer. The deal structurer uses a new software program to print out a standardized loan contract, access different credit checking databases, price the loan, and add a boilerplate language to the contract. With the new process, loan application can be completed in 4 hours instead of 6 days. So imagine, this is just an example sa IBM na siya. So before sila nag-business process re-engineer, loans ang kuan sa IBM, it would take 6 days. But with business process and of course, it would cost a lot of salary for these people, no? But with the business processing reengineering, no, and the workflow kane analysis, they finally figure it out nga they only need one person nga ilang silduan, and of course a computer or a software nga pwede niya magamit in order to aid the job, no? So ang loan nga makomplete within 6 days, makomplete na in 4 hours. So can you imagine the shortening, the shortcut, no, the times kanang ang imong ma-save na time spend on this para ra gud pud na good sa inyong clearance nga gireklamo og maadyo nga daghan kaadyong papirmahan so wala si mga gamit, di ba? So ang one day nimo nga magpa-sign og clearance aning mga tawhana nga you do not even know and you do not have contact on this person, you do not have liability on this person, ang usa nimo ka, I mean, ang clearance nimo nga ma-fulfill within a week, ma-fulfill nimo in a day because og gi-shorten na. Asus di na sig papirma ni kuan kay wa man ta nagagamit. Diba? Pero mag-laboratory, nani tay laboratory? Atong laboratory kay kita rampoy nag-manage kana ramang atong kuan tindahan mam na itong laboratory. Pero mas laboratory technician, gamit na imong mga chemicals nga man. Diba? So if you can tanaw ni boss matupong sa to kanang inyong papirmahan sa high school man college naman mo nalabas eh. Anyways, na to nga mo maila. Okay. Next topic. Ay, basi masarap yung masulti. Charot. Okay, let's go to it on with the organizational perspective. Now, so, i-review laman ani nga video kay kapoy balik-balik. Now, let's go to the group perspective. Now, in flat and boundaryless organizational structures, teamwork is an imperative. Indeed, as you have seen, teams are basic building blocks of both structures. Okay, so let's go to the group. Now, remember that teams or groups or teamwork is an imperative in both the boundaryless and flat organizational structure. So we can conclude safely that teams are the basic or groups are the basic building blocks of both structures. Now let's go deeper. What is a team or a group perspective? Now when it comes to work flows and job analysis. Okay, so team is defined as, what is a team? A small number of people, 5 or 6 considered optimal number, complementary skills, vital in flat organizations, and boundaryless organizations. When we say team, it consists of a small number of people with complementary skills. So when we say complementary, what do you mean by that? No, one person complements the skills of one person complements the another person, no? So that is what we meant by a small number of people with complementary skills who work towards common goal for which they hold themselves mutually accountable. So if you are in one team, you should share the same goal. Dili pwede ang goal sa usa lahi pud sa usa. Remember that you have complementary skills, meaning to say the skill of A complements the skill of B. Lihiro ba ta ka dyan sa mga relationships? Meaning ba ta, hello, ganahan siya ka nila nga couple kay because the girl complements the boy. When you say the girl complements the boy, she brings out the best of the boy. After 1 month, nagbuwag. Sana, charot, bitaw. So, that is what we meant by complementary skills. No? Samtan, sabot oy, kay kapoy sigyaw-yaw. Okay? The optimal number for teams is 5 or 6 members. Teams are generally found in boundaryless organizations that have flat organizational structures. Teams can vary significantly in size, 2 to 80 members. So, pwede. So, as long as you can manage a particular team, it doesn't matter how many members would it be. So, as long as you can manage. Now, several types of teams are used in organizations today. Okay, so let's go to the types of teams. There are 4 types of teams. The first one is a self-managed team. Second is problem-solving teams. Third, special purpose teams or the task force. We call them task force. And of course, the number 4 is virtual teams. Not the virtual teams. Okay. Let's go first to self-managed team or the SMT. Oh, this consists of members usually cruise-trained. When you say cruise-trained, ang, di ba yung ko kanina, one skill of a particular employee complements the skill of another employee. And then kanin pud nga employee A and B. So the skills of employee A complements employee B, and the skills of employee B complements the skills of employee E. So, na siya ang cross-trained. So, kung kamao si A sa cashiering, ang si B na apoy little knowledge on cashiering. So, kung kamao si B sa bookkeeping, si A pod na apoy basic knowledge on bookkeeping. Can you see the difference? Because they now have specialized skills. Si A, specialized skill in cashiering. Si B, ang isang specialized skill ang bookkeeping. But A and B has basic knowledge on both. I mean on kanang si B kamaopod sa cashiering gamay, si A kamaopod sa bookkeeping gamay. But they have their own particular specialized skills. That is what we meant by cross-trained. So in the event nga wa si A, pwede si B mo substitute. Kinamzay knowledge. Although she's not an expert, but he has a knowledge. She has some knowledge about the work of A. So kung si B po ang wala, pwede si A mo sub. Kay nasa little knowledge on the work of B. So ingan na ang self-managed team. They are responsible for producing an entire product, a component, or an ongoing service. Now, organizations are implementing self-managed work teams primarily to improve quality and productivity and to reduce operating costs. No? Self-managed teams are responsible for producing a product, a component, or an ongoing service. Some SMTs have members with a set of complex skills. For example, scientists and engineers with training in different disciplines. So, mo example ganina, no? Ay, isa lang mag-sample dire, scientists kanog engineers with training in different disciplines. So, mo na to, si A ug si B, na po sila training in different disciplines. Si A, na-train po sa bookkeeping, although ang isang skill is cashiering. Si B, na-train po sa cashiering, although ang isang kanang functional skill is bookkeeping. Okay, so members of the SMT have many managerial duties, including work scheduling, select work methods, ordering materials, evaluating performance, and disciplining team members. So, mo na isang self-managed team. Pwede sila, mura ba og jack of all trades, kanang, pwede sila rapoy mo schedule sa ilang work, sila ra po mo select sa ilang work method, sila ra po mo order sa ilang materials. Anybody in that particular team could do this work, no? Because they are cross-trained. Gina-train din sila with this particular nga naa sa ilang team. Okay? Self-managed team have made some impressive contributions to the bottom lines of companies that have used them. So according to research, self-managed teams have made some impressive contributions. Okay? So this is kanang siya kanang marag an evolution or revolution of how management evolve from decades. Okay, another is technical skills for technical areas of technical skills for self-managed teams include technical areas of skills lagi gutom nako. Areas of skills for self-managed teams. So these skills should be or self-managed teams should possess this area of skills. Number one is technical. Of course, team members must be cross-trained in new technical skills so that they can rotate among jobs as necessary. Administrative. Now, teams do much of the work done by supervisors in organizations that don't have teams. Like, for example, sa kadong last year ng HRM, now we have a tour man in which silang gitagaan og assignment which is to interview different HRM mga HR HR personnel in different business establishment in Ormoc so that they can kanang differentiate kanang murag silang gipa comparative study the different practices of businesses in Ormoc with respect to HR so usa sa mga interview nila ang ilang front front of the house manager would also function as the HR personnel, meaning to say kadtong front of the house manager is authorized to kanang mudawat og application and mo kuan pod sa interview pod sa applicant. More specific HR ba? Although kuan siya front of the house manager, pwede siya pod mag HR. So mo na itong gitawag og administrative skills, no? Teams do much of the work done by supervisors in organizations that don't have teams. Interpersonal skills. Of course, this is very necessary, not just in a self-managed teams. No? Team members need good communication skills to form an effective team. And if you don't know how to communicate very well, asahan mo magbugnoay ng mga team members because you don't know how to express your thought. Pagtuso sa ka members gabugal-bugal kas iyahang idea, bugnoay mo, no? So interpersonal skill is very important, not just in self-managed team, even in your personal endeavor kinahanglan mo na interpersonal skills kay di mo ka mao mo express yung thought na ma-wrong na gajud mo. Okay? Okay, so we're done with self-managed teams. I hope now you have an idea of what a self-managed team is. Actually, this is very self-explanatory. Why am I stressing about. Pwede ram ta ning inyong basahon, no? Ikapwis ko ninyo, uy, kasi mo laway. Ano ba si Okay, number two is problem-solving teams. Now, these teams is composed of volunteer members or temporary members. Maura man di ay. Okay, so problem-solving teams, as I have said, consist of volunteers from a unit or department who meet for 1 or 2 hours per week to discuss quality improvement, cost reduction, or improvement in work environment. Now, if I don't know if you are familiar or pohon mo katrabaho na mo, adyo mo katinganga, kintahay ikaw gibutang ka og kanang unsay tawag ana, diri ka sa finance. And then matinga na lamang ka kainganan ka nga, huy kanang how kang imimbro sa kuan ha, kaning problem solving teams kay ba kung you are an expert when it comes to churba. So ka ibutang didto, so you can help, no? Every time that there is a problem arising on this, kamo nga team ang mo solve and nga would try to solve that particular problem. So that's why it is volunteer. Actually, dili siya volunteer in real life. Kaya di ba kaganahan ng volunteer agawas sa mga gagarao. No, not actually gagaraon, but who wants to share the expertise. No kasagaran kay mo ingom jadag dali ko kapoy-kapoy siya na samok-samok. But not all, actually. Napoy uban nga ganahan pod. So, that's why they are called voluntary members. And it is temporary because when the need arise, dili, you are not being paid for that. More bag, it's an extra mile. No, just when the, siguro you have honorariums, just to kanang paid off the number of hours that you are going to have a meeting to discuss or para sa mga additional work or jobs to do, so you have an honorarium, but you're not paid mainly for that job. Kaya you belong in a different department. Murara mo mag-meeting ra just to create solutions to a particular problem that might arise or that have arisen in an organization. The formulation of problem-solving teams does not affect an organization's structure because these teams exist only on a limited period. They are usually disbanded after they have achieved their objectives. Mo nang gitawag sila problem-solving. So kung mahuman na ang kanang problema, of course you don't need to conduct a meeting pa. Mag-meeting ba mong nahuman namang problema, di ba? So, that's why it is called a temporary team. Special purpose teams. No? Bang-bangon sining pagka-arrange, oy. Now, these teams works on complex issues. Kuwangan man oy, nalabad si. Ang sakto ra di ay. Okay, the special purpose team or task force. So I think you're really familiar with task force. Task force sa GIP Churva, 'di ba? So this consists of members who span functional or organizational boundaries and whose purpose is to examine complex issues. Now, the difference between the problem solving and the special purpose teams is that problem solving are just there for a non-complex problem that may arise. But for complex issues, di na kaya nga isolve sa problem solving team. That's why you also have this particular special purpose teams in an organizations na ani silang upat ka team ni exists, no? Okay, so for complex issues man lagi, no, mo ni siyang kinahanglanon ang special purpose team. The members are all composed of person who has a special skill in solving complex issues. For example, introducing a new technology, improving the quality of a work process that spans several function units, or encouraging cooperation between labor and management in a unionized setting. So, muna example sa special purpose teams. So, create po sila decision making. No? Another example, um, in the Quality of Work Life or QWL program, which consists of team members including representatives and managers who collaborate on making improvements in all aspects of work of life, including product quality. The QWL program at Ford and General Motors has focused on improving product quality, whereas the QWL program between the United Steelworkers of America and the major steel companies has concentrated on developing new ways to improve employee morale and working conditions. So, when we say special purpose teams, gi-create na dyan ni siya nga teams basically for complex issues. So the members of these teams are, of course, highly trained on solving complex issues in an organization. Okay? Okay, let's go to dami pa nito. Virtual teams. So, virtual teams are composed of members who are geographically dispersed. When we say dispersed, kaya ba na tayo say dispersed? Oy, no? Virtual teams are teams that rely on interactive technology to work together when separated by physical distance. No, even in work, na physical distancing bitaw. So the virtual teams uses interactive computer technology such as the internet, groupware, or software that permits people at different computer workstations to collaborate on a project simultaneously. Now, and um, it also uses computer-based video conferencing to work together despite being separated by a physical distance. The virtual teams are similar to problem-solving teams because they do not require full-time commitment from team members. The difference is that virtual team members interact with each other electronically rather than face to face. The examples are virtual meetings by department heads at the College of Maasin. So, when I say virtual teams, mura po di siya, it was created to solve problems at hand. No? Only that they do not meet physically. Rather they coordinate virtually. Dili ra karon nga pandemic ha. Even in normal days na adjuning virtual teams, no? Wa by pandemic na virtual teams ni exist na ni siya. Kada siyang dili siya full time, no? More sila mga part-time ra nga member sa kanang na teams nga in which they collaborate, no? In order to solve a particular problem. So, sa karon nga pandemic, ang ma-example na ho is ang kanang virtual meetings by department heads of the College of Maasin. So, that is an example of a virtual teams, no, dispersed. They are dispersed geographically, but they are still able to formulate decisions or strategies in order to solve problems that is met by the academ. Okay? Samtan, I hope so. So that would be the last in themes. Okay, so we are now down to the individual perspective. We are done with the group perspectives. Mo na tong teams siya. It composes of different teams. Okay, let's go to the the individual perspective of work. Okay. Okay, so this is the third and final perspective. no, that I have mentioned earlier in this module about how you can view work. Now, this examines workflows. This examine workflows and structure is that of the individual employee and the job. We look first at the various theories of what motivates now in individual. Kamaong storya. Oh my God, I'm really tired na. In individual perspective, we will examine first at the various theories of what motivates employees to achieve higher levels of performance. And then at different ways jobs can be designed to maximize employee productivity. So mo ni atong tan-awon in individual perspective. What motivates a person to achieve high level of performance? And then how do you design jobs for that person to maximize his or her productivity? Mo na atong tan-awon sa individual perspective. Because you cannot just look at what motivates the employee and then pagka man ay ma-motivate din ni siya og kuan kanang foods wa kay action wa ka nag-design og kanang job nga pwede siya ibutang dito so that ma-motivate siya maadyo sa iyang productivity level. So kung kaybaw ka ma-motivate siya pagkaon ato sa asa siya nimo ibutang sa kantin. Asa man di ay pagkaon may motivate ni Jaws productive sa kadyo makakita sa pagkaon kay mga salin-salin isa man ang kanon. Okay, small na siya. That is my point. Motivation. Let us, as I have said before, let us dig deeper. What is motivation and how does it affect the performance of a particular person? So, motivation can be defined as that which energizes, directs, and sustain human behavior. Now, in HRM, the term refers to a person's desire to do the best possible job or to exert the maximum effort to perform assigned tasks. An important feature of motivation is that it is behavior directed toward a goal. Smo day na yung motivation. Now, motivation theory seeks to explain why employees are more motivated by and satisfied with one type of work than the other. No, maka-observe ka ba nga kanila gisikuan kay budlayon og kanina nga trabaho. Unsa og kanhinon nga trabaho nga kana ang di ka sukuan na paspas jagliho. Because maybe that one particular job motivates him or her to achieve its optimum productivity. Ba? Gutom na si ko. As an HR, it is fundamental for you to know what motivates your workforce for optimum productivity. As we all know, highly motivated employees are more likely to produce a superior quality product or service than employees who lack motivation. Okay. Wala na edit. Wan pa ni ha. Individual perspective na ta. Not days. So, ano yun na edit. So, therefore, theories, no, that supports motivation. The first one is two-factor theory. Second is work adjustment theory. Third is goal setting theory. And the last one is job characteristics theory. Ay, sa i-check ang... So, I guess, I will record a new slide. Kay, taas na siya. Okay, so these are the four theories that supports motivation.